Hello friends, gentle bodies. Got a new little recipe for you today. We're gonna make keto pumpkin crumb cake. All right, so you're not gonna see much of me, but that's okay. This is where the action happens, right? Right. Okay, so don't worry about my finger right here. I smashed it this morning in the door and it took off half my nail and I was bleeding and all that kind of stuff, and it's just really sore. So now I've got it protected with a Band-Aid, as my grandkids would say, Band-Aids. Anyway, so this is keto, and let's get started. All right, so I have my bowl here for the cake, and this is going to be for the crumb topping. And hopefully I'm gonna try and do this quickly for you so that you can see what's happening. I have my oven set to 325. I have a 9x9 greased pan. And so the first thing we're going to do is we're gonna make the crumb topping so it can be set aside. So 1 cup of almond flour, and this is what I have. So I have 1 cup of almond flour, a little bit more, I think. Even that out, yeah, a little bit more. Yep, there's 1 cup. You're gonna put that in the small bowl, set that aside because you're gonna need that for the cake. And then I need 1/4 of a cup of coconut flour, and this is the kind that I have. So 1/4 of a cup. That's pretty good. Yeah. All right, so you're gonna put that in the little thing, set that aside because again, you're gonna need this for the cake part. And then you're gonna need 1/2 of a cup of the Swerve brown sugar. This is what I have. 1/2 a cup. And it did not say that you need to pack it, so I'm not packing it. I'm just gonna move it around. And I believe that's 1/2 a cup. Yes. All right, put that in your little topping bowl. Set this aside. And then it calls for 1/2 of a teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice. I don't have pumpkin pie spice, so I have to do my own. So I've got cinnamon. We're gonna do just a sprinkle. And again, you know, I think this is a measure with your heart kind of thing. Whoops. Don't know what it is. Okay, and this is ground cloves. You don't need a lot, y'all. You don't need a lot of the cloves. And then this is ground nutmeg. And again, you're not gonna need a lot because you're only using like 1/4 of a teaspoon. So we're gonna mix that together and set it aside. This is your crumb topping. This is gonna be so good. Just mix it till it gets pretty good and combined. That way you don't have a strong flavor of one thing. It's pretty mixed well. It's getting there. All right, so that's pretty mixed. Okay. Well, I forgot the butter. See, I'm talking and not paying attention to what I'm doing. 1/2 a cup of butter. So I've already melted my butter. So that's 1/2 of a cup, which is 1 stick usually. But check your package just to be on the safe side. It does call for 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt, but I'm not gonna worry about that right now. I mean, you could sprinkle some salt in there if you would like, but anyway, mix that all together. It's going to be crumbly. It's supposed to be crumbly. All right. Make sure that butter is mixed in there really, really well. I wish it felt more like fall right now here in the South. It's getting there, but if it's still over if it's still over 80 degrees, that to me is just not very fall-ish. But we're gonna pretend like it's less than 70. All right, so we're gonna set that aside. Okay, I'm gonna leave that in there actually. All right, we're gonna get started on the pumpkin cake. So you're gonna need 1 cup of almond flour. Now, a little bit later in the thing, it calls for protein powder. I don't have protein powder, so I have the protein shakes. So I'm gonna do a little bit extra of the flours, so that it can offset that liquid. So I'm doing 1.5 of the almond flour. All right, and then, so the recipe calls for 1 cup, and I did a 1.5 to offset the liquid. And then we have 1/2 cup of sweetener, and I'm gonna use the monk fruit. I have Swerve just in case this isn't enough, but that's what I'm gonna use so, ooh, it looks like it's right on the money. I'm gonna set that aside. Yep, 1/2 cup, perfect. All right, and then this also calls for 1/3 cup of coconut flour. And again, I'm going to go a little bit more. So I'm going to do 1/2 cup of coconut flour instead of just 1/3. Yep, there we go. Get off of there. Don't know how that ended up on the thing. Anyway, okay. And here's where the 1/4 cup of the whey protein powder, or protein powder, whatever you want. You can use egg white protein powder, but I'm going to use the pumpkin pie spice premier protein shake. And I'm going to do 1/4 cup, but remember I offset it with this flour. So all right, that is 1/4 cup. And I'm gonna put that in here, pour it in. Okay, and then 2 teaspoons of baking powder. That's what kind I have. Usually you do all the dry ingredients together and then you mix it together with the wet ingredients. And I'm just going to tell you, I don't have time for that right now. So there's my 1/2 teaspoon. And I need, why did I say 1/2 teaspoon? I need 2 teaspoons, so we're going to do another 1/2. So there's 1. And then do another. There we go. All right, so there's my 2 teaspoons of baking powder. And then there's the 3/4 teaspoon of the pumpkin pie spice. And again, we're gonna do our own. So we're gonna do some cinnamon. cloves. And nutmeg. How you want to do your own pumpkin spice thing, that is what you want to do. That's on you. Whatever you do, you, boo. All right, so there's that. And now we've got 1/4 of a cup of melted butter, which is right here. And I've already melted it. That's actually a little bit more, so I'm going to put that in here. There we go. There's the 1/4 of a cup of melted butter. And then we've got 2 large eggs. I forgot to take out my eggs, so hold on. We actually have chicken, but our chicken eggs are not washed at the moment, so I'm trying to hurry. So 2 large eggs. I'm gonna set these aside for right now. And then 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla, and I have the Mexican vanilla, the best. Oh, so good. If you have a chance to get Mexican vanilla, that's where, yeah, that's what you want to do. All right, so 1/4 teaspoon. That's right, yes. There's my 1/4 teaspoon, and it just so happens that this is the clear vanilla, not the regular brown vanilla. But anyway. All right, so there's my mix, and we're gonna mix it up. Hopefully, I'm not gonna make a mess. I'd really like to not make a mess today. If you don't have a hand mixer, mix it by hand. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just doing this to fix time. You know what I forgot? I forgot I'm gonna have to look over this mess because I'm forgetting my puree and my salt. But I'm not gonna worry about salt. All right, so 1/2 cup of pumpkin puree. This is what I have right here, pumpkin puree, and I already took the lid off. So 1/2 cup. I need my spoon. I don't know what is going on with me. I'm paying too much attention to, and I made a mess. Well, that didn't take long. All right, that is 1/2 cup. There we go. Of course, I'm making a mess just by having all this out here. All right. I hope y'all have been doing good. I hope y'all are enjoying these recipes. I'm having fun trying them out and showing them to y'all. I don't know about you, but sometimes, you know, because I have to eat right, sometimes I get a little sad, a little greedy, not greedy. But I get a little greedy when I can't have what everybody else is having. So hopefully this will help you if you get the same way. Oh, this smells good. Okay, so you're gonna put this inside your, hold on, I gotta put that aside. All right, so you're gonna put this, in fact, I'm gonna use my spoon. Put that in your pan. This looks like super sticky. This is not like a regular you know, like a cake batter or something like that that's kind of loose and kind of just pours in there. That is definitely not this, I'm guessing. All right, so, and then we're just gonna mash it down and make it as even as we can. It is fluffy though, that's for sure. Smells great. All right, put that aside. Then you're gonna take your crumbs and do your little crumb topping. What I would do, you can, it depends on if you like your, I mean, sometimes I don't like my fingers touching it because I don't like the texture. I don't know what it is about me and certain textures. Anyway, if you don't like it, then use a fork. That works just as well. Or spoon it on, that works just as well. You just kind of have, with the spoon, you don't have the crumbly pieces of it. Usually I wear gloves so I don't have to feel that, like when I'm making biscuits or anything like that, that usually everybody else uses their hands and all that kind of stuff. Bread I'm okay with for the most part, unless it's like a sticky bread. If it's a sticky bread dough or whatever, nope, nope, nope. I can't handle that. So we're gonna okay. All right, and then we're gonna put it in the oven. I have to look at my notes. You're gonna bake it at 325 for 35 to 40 minutes, depending on how your topping is. It's gonna get golden brown and the tester in the middle and all that good stuff. So yeah, I'll be right back. Okay, just pulled it out of the oven. We're gonna check it, toothpick, insert it, see if it comes out clean. Yes. That's from the topping right there, if you can see that. That's from the topping, so this is gonna be perfect. And then you're gonna allow this to completely cool. And if you want to, I'll even do the drizzle that you can drizzle on top when it is completely cool. If not, you don't have to have that step. You can do it just like this. Just make sure it's completely cool before you eat it. And if you touch it like this, it's not gonna be firm because of this crumb topping right here. That's why it's important to do the tester either with a knife or a toothpick, whichever you want to do. All right, we've got to the point to have the drizzle. This is optional. You do not have to do this. So I've got the confectioner sugar, swerve, of course. And you're gonna need 1/4 of a cup. You're not gonna need a lot, y'all. 1/4 of a cup. Got a little spoon in here for my other things. So, 1/4 of a cup. Oh my gosh, you can't see. That's 1/4 of a cup, believe it or not.
I don't know what color that is.
And then you're gonna need 1/4 of a teaspoon of vanilla. Whoops. Vanilla, my Mexican vanilla. And I'm not even gonna mess with a measuring cup or measuring spoon. And then 2 tablespoons of heavy cream. But I'm gonna use this, adds a little protein to it. It's pretty thick anyway. And so you only need 2 tablespoons. And it's just gonna add a little something, something. But if you wanna use heavy cream, use heavy cream. You can use just about any milk. And you stir it in. I don't know, that's a little soupy than what I like. Of course, I didn't exactly measure, so which we're gonna add just a little bit more. Use my spoon. There we go. So you can see. Yeah, that's a little bit more of a consistency that I like. If you want to thicken it up, add more confectioner's sugar or powdered sugar, however you choose to call it. And then we're going to drizzle this right on top. Wherever, however you want to do it is fine with me, just as long as you drizzle your little heart's content. And again, this is optional. Can't speak today either. Oh, it's getting thick right there. Okay. I want to eat a bite already. It's not quite. I'm going to do it anyway. So you can see. I'm going to burn my face off, I know it. Oh, that was so good. Try it out, y'all. Let me know in the comments if you try it out. Do you do something different? Let me know. All right. Thanks, y'all.